Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas Adizero PrimeKnit Olympics running shoe. This is a very special shoe that was released this last summer, or unveiled this last summer, should I say, just before the London 2012 Olympics, and it was very limited release. I was aware of it at the time. I really wanted to get a pair, limited to 2012 pairs worldwide, but there was a catch to getting this shoe. It was only going to be sold in London at this one Adidas store, and you could only buy it in store. There was no online sales at all. So a lot of people that wanted to get these shoes weren't able to do so unless they got a plane ticket out to London, and I definitely wasn't going to do that for a pair of shoes. I already had owned a pair of Nike Flyknits, and when I saw the release of the PrimeKnit from Adidas, obviously it looked very similar, and I wanted to try it out because I really did like the Flyknits. This is the PrimeKnit, like you see, this is the actual shoe. Basically, so how did I get these shoes? There's kind of a small story here that I kind of tried to figure out just from all the news and what actually happened as far as the release of the PrimeKnit is concerned. Basically, when Adidas released this shoe, it was a month after Nike's Flyknit technology had been unveiled as well. So, it's the second that PrimeKnit was unveiled, people immediately made the comparison to Flyknit, and obviously they said Adidas is copying Nike. And that's a little bit crazy, simply because all these shoes, all this crazy technology that these companies are coming out with have been in development for years and years. So it's very unlikely that within 1 month Adidas developed technology and ramped up enough pairs of these shoes to sell to the public. Adidas actually has released now, they've been in development of the PrimeKnit for 4 years now. So it's not something that just came out of the blue. It was just unfortunate that Nike had unveiled a very similar technology that I'm sure either of them didn't know that they were both designing a very similar shoe, and Nike just so happened to release theirs first, and Adidas kind of got got a little bit shafted because they released it second. So obviously everybody said Adidas is copying Nike, and that wasn't the case here. So basically Nike sued Adidas, and what happened is there was a delay put on the PrimeKnit. They weren't allowed to sell any of them. So what I could think happened is that they had to pull all of these shoes from that one London store, or maybe they didn't sell all of them, and they got given to an online store that I found just about a week ago, and I ordered them and got my own pair, which is very cool, brand new in the box. There's actually some buy it now links in the description. They still have a couple pairs left, so if you do want a pair, go ahead and check out that link. And make sure you act quickly because there's not that many, like I said, 2012 pairs worldwide. So go ahead and check that out. So that's how I was able to get my pair. And just very recently, the judge ruled in Adidas' favor this time around, saying that Nike couldn't patent using yarn or knitting in the upper of a running shoe. They've been doing that since 1940. Every running shoe has some kind of knitting in the upper, so they can't actually patent that. So the PrimeKnit is pretty much free reign. They can sell it all they want now, and it's pretty much been settled that Adidas is not copying Nike. I think the lawsuit is still ongoing, and I don't know the exact details. Nobody really does, but that's basically what happens, and that's how I got these shoes. But that's enough about the shoes and the story, and as to how I got them, I'll show you guys the box really quickly. You can see that the label was actually double labeled here. It says Prime Olympics, but if you see underneath, it kind of has this faded black. There's another label there, and it looks like it said Adizero Prime Olympics. So I'm not sure why they added a second one there. Maybe there was some kind of loophole they tried to pull to try and sell these shoes, changing the name. I'm not sure, but there is a second label on there, which is somewhat unusual. Size 9.5 US, and the colorway is red, white, and black. And then, of course, it has this limited sticker on here. 1143 out of 2012. That's the number I have on my pair at Adizero PrimeKnit, London 2012 limited edition, as you guys can see. And then it says right here, our first batch, and this one is yours. All you need and nothing more. And of course, it's a red box with the white Adidas logos on the side, as well as on the top of the box, as you guys can see. And you can see the box is a little bit different. I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see the inside. But overall, very cool release. And the shoe itself is actually made in Germany as well, as you guys can see, which I didn't know until I actually got them. But that's enough about the story and how I got the shoes. I'll show you how the box opens. As promised, here's a look at how the box opens up. So basically, you pull the lid up, and all of these kind of panels unfold, and it holds itself up if you just pop out the outside ones. Very unique. I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like. It kind of looks like some kind of building, but it's very cool how they did it. And then of course you can see the shoes are on the inside of the box. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys what the box looks like when you open it up, and we'll move on to the shoes themselves. Alright, well here's a look at the shoes from out of the box. As you can see, they come in this white string bag, which is kind of neat. They come with the fastening system on the bag is actually a white shoelace with adizero printed on the end. Very cool, nice detail on there. It's always nice to get an extra with any kind of shoes for that matter. So a shoe bag is very much appreciated. You see it has this very open white mesh lining on the front. Then it says adizero in red printed on the inside. Very cool, and again, I always like to get a nice shoe bag with any pair of shoes for that matter. So here's a look at the PrimeKnits themselves. Very, very nice in person, much nicer in person than they look in the online photos. If you do want to get a better idea as to how these actually do look in person, go ahead and check out the high quality images on the review page on my website. There'll be a link in the description of that if you want to check that out. You can see that they are numbered here on the tongue, pair 1143 out of 2012. Love having the limited, I like having numbered pairs of shoes. It's very, very cool. It's nice to know that there's only 2012 pairs made, and I think it'd be cool if they numbered every pair of shoes, no matter how many they actually made. It's just something that I like. Personally, a big fan of the colorway as well. Red, I don't know, I have something about red shoes, not necessarily soccer shoes, but when it comes to casual shoes, I have a lot of red shoes, so this one definitely fits the bill for me. I really do like the colorway and the overall look of this shoe. But as far as why I wanted to get these in the first place, I still own and have owned the Nike Flyknit Racer for quite a while now, and I really do like that shoe. The Flyknit technology is so cool, so I really wanted to see what Adidas had produced and launched in their PrimeKnit technology. And honestly, they're very, very different from each other. A lot of people just made that automatic assumption that they're the same simply because they're both knitted uppers. But if you actually look at the technical aspects of these shoes and how it's actually made, they're very, very different from each other. Basically, I'm going to be doing a comparison video between both of these shoes as well. So stay tuned for that in the future. And if you don't want to miss it, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss that video. But as far as how Flyknit works from Nike, basically it uses a couple of different materials to provide that nice soft sock-like feel, but still have that support where it needs to be. Whereas Adidas's PrimeKnit technology uses a specially developed material called thermoplastic yarn, where Adidas can pick and choose where they want the support to be. The entire shoe is made of the exact same material, so the entire shoe is that thermoplastic yarn, and just like the Flyknit, or so they say, it's not like the Flyknit, but it's one single piece of yarn all the way through. I'm not sure if that's true simply because you have red and white on the same upper. I'm not sure if they can make one single strand that is red and white and then it kind of intertwines and they measure it. I don't know how they do it, but it's very, very cool. So there's very little wasted material here, and you can see that the only seam on the shoe is going to be here on the instep, and that's basically because they make it out of one piece and it has to meet somewhere. It just meets right there on the shoe. But as far as how this actually works, how the thermoplastic material works, is that because there's a little bit of plastic in the yarn itself, they can apply enough heat to the material where it's actually going to melt that plastic, and then when it cools, it hardens in that particular area. So you can see this little red strip here. This is one of the areas where they've hardened on the shoe to provide a little bit of extra support, which is what you would need in a running shoe anyways. So it's not necessarily hard like for a piece of wood, for example, but it's a little bit harder than the rest of the shoe, whereas on the top area here, it's going to be a little bit softer than this area. So it's going to be a lot more supportive here, but a lot more flexible here. So it's very cool how they did this. They could technically, at least in theory, pick and choose where they would want the support to be on the shoe. So it's overall, it's not as open as Flyknit is. It's not as flexible as Flyknit is. The material seems to be a little bit stiffer as a whole, but it still has that same kind of concept. But it's very unique that they can just pick and choose where the support's going to be. So the upper seems to be a lot more seamless on this particular shoe than it does on the look like on the Flyknit anyways. It's still going to have pretty good breathability to it and really good flexibility as well. Very curious to try these on and see how they do feel as far as comfort is concerned, but I'm sure they will be fairly comfortable as well. One thing that's also a little bit different between the Flyknit and the PrimeKnit is that the PrimeKnit actually does have a little bit of a heel liner on here. They added that on. So there's a little bit of extra padding around the Achilles heel area and the sides of the ankles just to provide a more comfortable feel. Doesn't take away from the cool factor at all, and that is an added on element to the shoe, so just keep that in mind. You have the Adidas printing on the back of the heel, and then of course your classic Adidas 3 stripes on the outside and inside of the shoe. The midsole is a combination of white, black, and red. You can see you have this red here with the black pinstriping, and it says adizero in red. And it goes all the way through, and then of course it fades from red to black here at the toe, which again looks very, very sharp. And then of course you have this white EVA foam material which they're calling the Sprint frame, running with that adizero name on the shoe, like they're doing with all of their minimalistic, lightweight stuff. Of course, this is a running shoe, but it is kind of designed as a race day shoe for long distance races. So it's not like an everyday running shoe or a training shoe, if you will, but it definitely is something that you could wear casually, and if you did want to do running in it, you definitely could do that. It's a very, very capable shoe. Keep in mind, like I said, this was designed for performance and not just to say, look what we can do. As far as the sole is concerned, you have this kind of minimalistic, very lightweight rubber sole. There's a very thin layer. Again, this is a race shoe. It's made to be very light. So they have rubber here. And then you can see they have this very unique, I've never actually seen it before. I know they use it on different shoes, but it's the first time I'm seeing it in person. And basically these little gray things you can see there are like these little rubber pieces, and then they kind of glue on or something. Somehow they put these extra little rubber pieces on top of that. I'm not sure why they do it like that. I'm not sure if it's lighter, but it's very, very cool. It looks really neat, and feels like it's going to provide pretty good amount of grip if you're going to be racing on the road. Obviously, this is something you're going to want to stay on concrete with. It's not like a trail running shoe or anything like that. So that's pretty much it as far as the Flyknit is concerned, the unboxing portion, and we'll move on to what they look like on feet. Alright, well here's a look at the PrimeKnits on feet. Again, they're just really cool looking shoes in my opinion. They look like nothing else out there on the market. Very cool. Even though there's just that classic Adidas 3 stripes design, the look of a knitted upper is just so unique in my opinion. And I'm really glad this is a technology that Nike and Adidas are going to be rolling with in the next couple of years. You can see that I have one with the shoelaces tied up, and then one with the laces kind of tucked in. The laces are a little bit long to wear these completely untied, like loose. I thought it looked a little bit goofy, but just keep that in mind that the laces are fairly long on this particular shoe. They're very, very comfortable to wear as well. For a racing shoe, I definitely have to say they're more comfortable to wear, at least casually, than the Nike Flyknit Racer, simply because the base seems to be a little bit more supportive, and it's a little bit wider as well, so they just feel a lot more comfortable. There's actually a surprising amount of cushioning for how light these shoes are and how minimalistic the sole is. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9.5 here, and the fit is absolutely perfect. There's a little bit of extra space at the toe, and the width in the forefoot is a little bit wider because this is a performance running shoe. And as with most running shoes, the forefoot is going to be a little bit wider, so your feet have some room to expand in the forefoot area. But that's pretty much it as far as these shoes are concerned. They definitely fit true to size, and let's look at them with shorts on, and I'll give you a look at them with a pair of pants on as well. Alright, here's a look at the PrimeKnits while wearing a pair of pants. And like any Adidas shoe, the classic 3-stripe design, you can wear casually, you can wear as performance shoes. They just look good no matter what you wear them with, and the PrimeKnits are no different. They look really good with a pair of pants. Again, like I said, they are designed as performance shoe, but there's nothing stopping you from wearing these casually, and like I said, they're very, very comfortable as well. Again, one with the laces tied, one with the laces untied. They look good either way in my opinion, but I will definitely be wearing these casually. Probably not this winter, but come summertime, these are definitely a pair of shoes that I'll probably be wearing quite a bit. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of the video is concerned, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, well that's it for my review of the Adidas Adizero PrimeKnit Olympics. Very cool shoe, love the design, love the knitted upper, and they're very comfortable to wear as well. Pretty excited to see what Adidas is going to do with this technology in the future. If you are interested in getting a pair for yourself, like I said, there will be buy it now links down below in the description. So go ahead and check that out if that does interest you. And if you would like to see high quality images of this guy, go ahead and click the link down below in the description to the review page on my website, where I have some close-up shots of this particular pair. That'll give you a better idea as to how these shoes actually do look in person. Other than that, guys, if you have any questions regarding the shoe, let me know down in the comments if you like them, if you don't like them, if you want to get a pair for yourself. If you think it's copying Nike, whatever your opinion is on the PrimeKnit, feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you could leave a like on the video as well, it would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.